Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start our fourth unit, that is the measurement of non-electrical parameters. Okay, in this unit we are going to study about the various measuring things that we are taking in takes place in our human body. Okay, of that we are going to study in this temperature measurement, respiration rate measurement, pulse rate measurement, blood pressure measurement, blood flow, and cardiac output measurement. These are the things we are going to study in this measurement of non-electrical parameters. Okay, so today we are going to see in detail about the pulse rate measurement. Okay, today we are going to see in details about pulse rate measurements. Okay, so we all know the blood is pumping from heart, right? So when the heart muscles is contracted, the blood is ejected from the ventricle, right? And so when the blood is ejected from the ventricle, it will pass through it will transmit through the circulatory system. Okay, the pulse of pressure. So the pulse of pressure is transmitted through the circulatory system. So when this blood is flowing through the vessels, there will be some displacement in the vessels. Okay, which is so this displacement in the vessels can be measured at various points of this peripheral circulatory system. Okay, so we all of you place your fingers on the wrist. Just check your pulse. Is it possible to check your pulse? Yes, right. So the pulse can be felt by placing the fingertips over the radial artery in the wrist or some other location where an artery seems just below the skin. Okay, that is just how we are measuring the pulse. Okay, just placing our fingertips on the wrist or place where the radial artery is there, we can able to identify the pulse rate. Okay. So the pulse pressure and waveform are the indicators for blood pressure and blood flow. So the instrument that is used to the instrument that we are using for this arterial pulse and pulse pressure waveform is called plethysmograph. Plethysmograph. Okay. So this pulse waveform travels. We know when the blood is ejected from the ventricle, this blood will flow through this blood vessels, right? So the pulse, this will travels at a rate of 5 to 15 meter per second, depends on the size and rigidity of the arterial wall. Okay, the size of this arterial wall will depends on the nature of our body. Okay, there it will be small or it will be large depending on the nature of the body. So how we are measuring this pulse rate? Okay, there are various methods we are using to detect the pulse change due to the blood flow. Okay, of this there are three methods: electrical impedance change method, strain gauge or microphone method, that is also a mechanical method, and optical change or change in density method. These are the three methods we are going to study. Of this, the third, now we are using now commonly we are using the third one, that is optical change or change in density method. Okay, let's see in details. First one, electrical impedance change. Okay, so in this method it measures the impedance change between the two electrodes caused by the change in volume between them. Okay, so it will just measure the impedance change between the two electrodes. Okay, this impedance change will be small as compared to the total impedance. Okay, this that is here we are in this method, electrical impedance change method. It will measure the impedance change between the two electrodes caused by the change in blood volume between them. So the change in impedance will be small as compared to the total impedance. So how we are measuring this impedance? Okay, this is measured by applying an alternating current between the electrodes attached to the body. So we know if we want to measure something from our body, the electrodes are needed. Okay, so by applying the alternating current between the electrodes, we can measure the impedance. Okay, so for this alternating current of 10 to 100 kilohertz is used for this measurement. Okay, that is the electrical impedance change method. Next one, strain gauge method or microphone. Here it is a mechanical method. Okay, this method involves a strain gauge connected to a rubber band placed around the limb or the finger. Okay, here in this they are using just a strain gauge which is connected to the finger by using a rubber band. So when we connect this, there will be an expansion in the band. So when the blood volume will changes, there will be a change in the band. It will expand. Okay, sometimes it will expand or it will contract. Expansion in the band due to the change in the blood volume causes a change in resistance of the strain gauge. So by using the strain gauge, we will measure the resistance. There will be some variation of the resistance when the blood volume will changes, that we can identify using a band. Okay, or the sensitivity crystal microphone is used on the skin surface to pick up the pulsation, or we can use the sensitivity crystal microphone just to measure the pulse that will be transmitted through this. Okay, have you all understand this two method? Okay, next one, optical change method. Okay, this method is most commonly nowadays this method is most commonly used to measure the blood volume change. That is, this method is also known as the photoelectric method. Okay, photoelectric method, that is a change in density method. In this method we are using this is divided into two types, that is transmittance method and the reflectance method. Transmitted method and reflectance method. Okay, so the first one is the transmittance method. Okay, I think from this figure you will understand what we are going to see in this transmittance method. Okay, in this transmittance method we are placing this device in the fingertips. Okay, and fingertips, we are placing this device on the fingertips. Okay, this is the finger and this is the device. Okay, so it contains a photoresistor. This is an LED this is a photoresistor and this is the LED. Okay, a light emitting diode and the photoresistors are mounted in an enclosure that fits over the tips of the patient's finger. This will be mounted over the fingertips. Okay, so after placing this, the light is transmitted from this lamp through the fingertip. Okay, so in this is the photoresistor and this is the lamp, right? So from this using this lamp, there will be a light is ejected from this, and this line is this light is transmitted through our fingertips and the resistance of the photoresistors is determined by the amount of this light reaching there. Okay, so here also it will measure the resistance. It will be measured based on the light that is reaching on the photoresistor. Okay, with each contraction of the heart, blood is forced to the extremities and the amount of blood in the finger will increases. When the blood pump, with each contraction of our heart, during the contraction of our hearts, the blood is forced to the extremities and the amount of blood in the fingers will increases. Okay. So so there will be the change in density. it will alters the optical density, with the result that the light transmission through the fingers reduce the resistance of the photoresistor, and the resistance of the photoresistor increases accordingly. Okay, so when the blood flowing through the fingers increases, the light transmission through the finger will reduce. As a result, the resistance of the photoresistor will increases. Okay. The photoresistor is connected as a part of voltage divider circuit and produces a voltage that varies with the amount of blood in the finger. Based on the variation in the blood flow through the fingers, the value will be determined. Okay. So this voltage that closely flows the pressure pulse, and its wave shape can be displayed on an oscilloscope or recorded on a strip chart recorder. That is where the waveform is recorded. Okay, this is the mechanism. Based on the light reaching this photoresistor, there will be some resistance in this, and it will be recorded using a oscilloscope or a strip chart recorder. Okay, so when the blood flow to this increases, the light reaching to the photoresistor will reduce, and the resistance in the photoresistor will increase automatically. That is the transmitted methods. Through this we can able to measure this pulse rate. Okay, this is the transmitter method. Then the reflectance method. This figure shows the reflectance method. In the previous one, that is the transmitted method, we are placing the photoresistor on the top of the finger and lamp below the finger. In this reflectance method, we are placing the photoresistor and lamp on nearby. Okay, so from the light from the lamp, the light rays are emitted by the LEDs and is reflected and scattered from the skin and the tissues and fall onto the photoresistor. From this lamp it will pass on to this photoresistor. Okay, so the quantity of the light reflected depends upon the amount. So here also same thing, based on the amount of, if the blood flow increases means the light will the amount of light rays will be reduced. Okay, based on that we are measuring this voltage drop across the photoresistor. Okay, so the quantity of the light reflected depends upon the amount filling the capillaries, and therefore the voltage drop across the photoresistor connected as a voltage divider, which vary in proportion to the volume change of the blood vessel. It is similar to that. In that we are placing this photoresistor as well as the lamp in between these fingers. Okay, in this reflectance method, we are placing both photoresistor as well as the lamp nearby, nearby. Okay, so these are the two methods that we are using to measure this pulse rate measurement. These are the two optical methods. This is just the spectral response of this. Okay, spectral response for silicon phototransmitter and the radiant spectral distribution of a tungsten lamp and a gallium arsenide lamp. Okay, this is just the spectral response. Okay. This is the block diagram of this pulse rate measurement. Okay. Normally, for the pulse rate measurement, a photoelectric transducer suitable for use on the finger or ear lobe is used. Normally, we are using this transducer. Okay, we are using for this pulse rate measurement, we are using a transducer, which we can use on the finger. Okay, we can use this on finger or on the ear lobes. Okay, we can use this. Okay, in these two places we can use this device. Okay, the signal from the photocell is amplified and filtered, and the time interval between the two pulses measured. The signal, so the time interval between the two successive pulses is measured by using this device. So this figure shows the block diagram of the processing the plethysmographic signal dictated from a photoelectric transmitter. Okay, this circuit consists of two parts. Okay, first one is LED, a LED oscillator and a driver. This is an LED driver and an oscillator which produce a 300 Hz 50 microsecond infrared light pulse to the finger probe. Okay, this will produce a 300 Hz 50 microsecond infrared light pulse, okay, to the finger probe attached to the patient. We know there will be some light which is used in this last method, transmittance method or reluctance method. We are using a light. So this light having a frequency of 300 Hz or 50 microseconds or infrared light pulse to the finger probe attached to the patient. And a phototransmitter, this is the phototransmitter that we are using. It pick up the attenuated light. This phototransistor will pick up the attenuated light from this. Okay, so the electrical signal obtained from this phototransmitter is amplified and its peak value is sampled and filtered. Okay, so the signal from this phototransmitter, after the amplification of the signal from this phototransmitter, the peak value from this is sampled and filtered. Okay, so an automatic gain control circuit, this is the automatic gain control circuit. It will adjust the amplifier gain to yield a constant average pulse height at the output. Okay, so an automatic gain control circuit adjusts the amplifier gain to yield a constant average pulse height at the output. Then the AC component with a frequency in the heart rate ranges from 0.8 to 5 Hz is further amplified to output the plethysmographic pulse rate form. Okay, so the AC component with a frequency in the heart rate ranges 0.8 to 5 Hz is further amplified to the output to form the plethysmographic pulse rate. Okay, this signal is then transmitted across the isolation barrier, then demodulated, then low pass filtered and transmitted to the analog multiplexer resident on the CPU board. Okay, so this is just the block diagram of this pulse rate measurement. Okay, hope you all understand this topic. Thank you. If you have any doubt, you have to comment or just WhatsApp me. Okay, thank you.